Hello there, and welcome back to Bite Sized. Brr. It's getting cold outside. In honor of the changing seasons, we're making this really hearty tomato basil soup, completely from scratch. It's a great recipe to know if you're getting the gastric sleeve or the gastric bypass. This is a perfect phase 1 bariatric full liquid diet recipe. It's also great if you're on the puree stage as well. It uses very simple, garden variety ingredients with very hearty flavors. It's just one of those meals that you make with love and fills your soul and warms your bones. If that sounds good, let's get cooking. This is Bite Sized, foods for your bite-sized stomach. First, let's start with the base of our soup, tomatoes. Roasting is this sort of miracle of food. It takes very little effort to take something ordinary like tomatoes and elevate them to something very sweet and savory. So that's what we're doing. First, we start by cutting our tomatoes in half. Once those are chopped, I'm moving them off to the side and grabbing a baking sheet. Give your sheet a generous coat of olive oil, and then we're placing our sliced tomatoes, sliced down, onto a baking pan. You do this to pick up some of that olive oil. Next, we're flipping the tomatoes face up, and then giving them a generous seasoning of flake salt. Please don't worry too much about the amount of salt we're using at this point. Once we get these in the oven, most of the water inside the tomatoes is going to vaporize, taking a lot of that salt with it, which is why it's so important to give it a proper seasoning at this point. Next, I'm adding a few sprigs of thyme because, well, there's never not a good time for thyme. And then following that up with a dash of oregano. I was trying to look cool for the camera, but instead ended up making a giant fool out of myself. There. I'm tossing these in the oven at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. While those are roasting, let's bring on the onions. This is a sweet yellow onion, which will get even sweeter when we get sauteing. Just slice in half, removing that pesky outer layer, and then giving them a rough chop. There's really no finesse when making a good hearty soup from scratch. You don't have to worry about fancy cuts or any of that other cooking flash you see on the Food Network. Grab a pan, add some olive oil, and with high heat, toss your onions, stirring often. I'm adding 2 cracks of lemon pepper that I got from my local Trader Joe's. Once your onions are looking nice and brown, add them to a large saucepan. This is where we'll be doing the remainder of our cooking. Make sure to get a big enough pan to fit everything in. Oops, sounds like our tomatoes are ready. Look at these. Shiny, red, skin's ready to fall off. These look like they're ready to fall apart. I'm just gonna take these and add them to my pan. Ooh, that one almost didn't want to be soup. Go in your home. Now we're cooking with gas. Well, not like literal gas. This is a cheap electric burner that I got from Amazon that I will definitely be returning to Amazon. I'm giving these a quick start and then hitting everything with a cup of chicken broth. Chicken broth is probably top 5 for bariatric ingredients. You can enjoy it as is, or use it to water things down while giving something a little extra flavor you want in a bite-sized meal. Next, I'm adding this beautiful bushel of basil, say that 5 times fast, giving it another shot of chicken broth because, well, I'm not driving, followed by 1/4 of a cup of balsamic vinegar. I'm telling you, there's magic happening in this pan right now. Next, to make sure that all those ingredients mix and merge together, I'm using this KitchenAid hand mixer. I have a link to the exact mixer in my video description if you're in the market. When working with stock or oil or fat or something like vinegar, emulsifying helps combine all those ingredients together into one consistent, delicious form. You wouldn't want globs of vinegar floating around your soup now, would you? Nah, trust me. Having good looking food is part of having good food, because if it's not sexy, we're not eating it. It's kind of hypnotic to watch everything swirl together. Cover this up, let that boil for another 8 minutes, and then I'm pulling that off to the side and serving in a bowl. You can add something like parsley to the top of it for looks and presentation, but it's not 100% necessary. Sometimes in life there's true beauty in life's own simplicities. And now for the slurping of the soup. Yep, that's good soup, if I do say so myself. You can jar and freeze this up for later. Soup is one of those great survival meals that can be stored up for a long haul. You can freeze the rest for later, which makes future meals down the line, which means you don't have to spend extra time cooking. What a great time saver. For the full recipe along with the directions shown on today's episode, check out my website, bitesizedmeals.com. For those of you that have been following my bariatric journey, thank you so much for all the well wishes. I'm healing up nicely after getting my extra belly skin removed. I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm looking forward to getting there. Thank you so much for all the support. For bariatricfood.com, this is Bite Sized, wishing you a happy bariatric journey. Until next time, see you soon.